Central, everybody. Pick Central. Hey, Roan, how you doing? Roan's going to pee, and he's going to be here. We can have a celebration of Distraught here on Pick Central today. No Brandon Walker. What you see is what you got. I'm Smitty. We got Big Ed. We got Jeff Nadu. Zob, Booze in the booth. And I'm a broken man, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a broken man. But you know what helps you become unbroken responsibly? The number one shot in the U.S. Yeah, baby. Fireball. Sometimes life can get serious fast, and adult responsibilities become overwhelming. But everybody needs an excuse to let loose and have fun. During the moments of stressful adulting and letting yourself have some fun, Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. Fireball takes any event to the next level, whether it's a mundane work happy hour, crazy pregame, or just watching football with some friends. Fireball is all about flipping the script on life and turning everyday events into ones you'll be telling lifelong stories about for years, like sticking tacos right up your duck butter. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. That's why it is the number one shot in the U.S. The Fireball 50-milliliter shooters are perfect to ignite a pregame, tailgate, or darty. Plus, no shot glasses needed. Just crack it back and knock it back. Fireball, baby. Fireball. Next time you're deciding between adulting and fun, say F it and free your fire with an ice-cold shot. A Fireball, boys. I thought a night of sleep would have helped. It did not. The Phillies are down 3-2 in the World Series to the Houston Astros. And it's not that they lost. Well, it is that they lost. It's that they lost such a winnable game. A winnable game in which they have won every single time these playoffs. You take it from the jump. First batter, Brandon Marsh, lollygags out in center field. Turns a double into a triple for Altuve. Next batter, infield in, Pena squeaks one right through the middle. Maybe things are different. Maybe things aren't. Brandon Marsh later. 38-year-old fucking Yuri Gurriel gives a little Texas leaguer out in center field. Brandon Marsh takes a step back, ends up diving for it 20 feet in front of him, goes off his fucking dick, ends up being a double, starts another rally. Brandon Marsh at the plate. Yeah, he's the 9-hitter. But when it's first and third, one out, bottom of the eighth, and you're down by one, you got to get the runner in. You got to get the runner in. You got to get the runner in. I don't know whether small ball should come back into effect there, maybe lay one down there, Topper. You got to get the runner in. You got to get him in. Number 2 hitter, Reese. I love you, Reese. I love you, but putting up a golden fucking sombrero in a World Series game ain't going to win ball games. When you strike out with the bases loaded early in the game, ain't going to win you a championship. Reese and JT Realmuto last night, your 2 and 3 hitters, 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts. For the last 2 games, Reese and JT Realmuto, 0 for 17 with 10 strikeouts. You can't win a championship like that, boys. You can't win it, Ron. You just can't. And then you got Bryce Harper. Got on base 3 out of 5 times last night. I don't know what more you want. What more do you want out of Bryce Harper? 2 walks, a double, and a hit back. You're 4 out of 5 times he got on base. What more do you want? Oh, I know what more I want. Hey, Nick Castellanos, fucking step up and do something. Stop swinging at the fucking first pitch out of the zone. Stop swinging at the second pitch over your head and fucking clutch up. I love you so much as a person, but you gotta clutch up one time like you did against the Braves in Game 1. Like you did in Game 1 against the Astros. You're fucking paid big money. You need to clutch up. 6-hole hitter. Alec Bohm, okay, 1 for 4. You're fine. Made some good plays in the field. Also, Reese, another questionable play in the field. But, okay, whatever. 7-hole hitter, Bryson Stott. I love you. You're playing good defense. You don't have a hit in the World Series. You're battling every at-bat. You're a rookie. So is Jeremy Pena. Got to get a hit in the World Series. Gene Segura, another good at-bat last night. You're fine. And then Brandon Marsh, where I talked about you. It is very disheartening how that game went down because it was so winnable. They're not out of it. We were in the bump, Game 6. You never know what's going to happen in Game 7.
One game at a time. One game at a time.
One game at a time. But, man, oh, man, it hurt. It hurt. And eventually, it's not going to feel like this because when you look back, 5-10 years down the line, you remember the ride. If they are to lose. You remember the ride and you think like, oh, yeah, 93 was so good. 09, we wish we won. It's great and all. 01 Sixers, yeah, remember it. But, man, last night, I I would almost rather have lost like they should have to the Braves in the series than
No.
Yeah, that's how bad it feels. That's how bad it feels.
That's not what you would have wanted, dude. You've gotten more baseball, dude. You've grown closer to these players. You've had like the chance to be in it. You've had the World Series game of like, and we are still alive, dude. There's no we shouldn't have won this. There's no like we shouldn't be here. Like they are here. And they're still alive. They're not dead yet, Smitty. And I understand the frustration, but it seems like you're talking like they're dead.
No. They're not dead. And if this team is indeed a team of destiny, which indeed they still could be and should be, they will come back like the 2019 Nationals did with 2 games in Houston and win the fucking World Series. They're not dead, but, Wheeler's going through fatigue issues. Who knows what we're going to get out of that? And
but it also could go the other way. It could be that everybody's kind of counting Wheeler out because he had a couple miles an hour off of his fastball in the last start, but he might have used that extra rest and he might be fucking locked in. Like there's no pitcher that I'd want more than Wheeler if he's at his best on the bump tonight. And if it gets to a Game 7, there's no one else that I feel has more momentum than Ranger Suarez.
Hey, if it gets to a Game 7 and Dusty Baker has to throw out Javier on short rest, be ready, Dusty. Be ready for hell.
But I am scared of Framber, though.
I don't want to be this guy, but I mean, we're starting to realize that they're just better than the Phillies. I mean, they just are at every level.
Don't have to be that guy. They are better than the Phillies. Especially their pitching.
The runners.
This pitching staff for the Astros is all time between their starters and their bullpen. They're an all time pitching staff, and quite honestly, they probably should have won the World Series already with their talent on their pitching staff.
The runners in scoring position is anemic. I mean, every inning last night, they had guys on second, third.
Yeah, you scored 2 runs, and then the game before you scored none. Like, you can't win a World Series if you score 2 runs in 2 games. Like, the Phillies need to wake up their bats, put the hats on the bats, and fucking do something. Hey, Reese, do something. Hey, JT, do something. They need to do something at the plate. And maybe going back to small ball, what they did against the Cardinals and the Braves. They were fucking doing a little bit of bunts here and there. Maybe you want to see Marsh do that last night instead of relying on the long ball. I don't hate that, Topper. I don't hate that. You got to manufacture runs some way, some fucking how. And they couldn't last night. Too many runners on base with 2 outs. Like, you got to get rallies going early. You got to get cooking. Something. Be somebody. Destiny. Please. But if this goes to 7, it's a crapshoot. That's my Phillies.
I don't think it's as binary as the Astros are better, the Phillies are worse. I know it feels like that after the last game, but I think that the Phillies maybe are better. Like, they have more pop. We're a little bit more powerful.
Every player in that lineup is.
No, you get down to the bottom of the lineup, they stink.
The Astros.
The Astros.
Yeah, they
stink.
They have a couple bad hitters.
And shout out to Westchester Henderson's Chaz McCormick, or as Tico called him, Randy Moss, because he didn't know his real name. That was an incredible play in center field. Yeah, JT got a good piece, went the other way, took it for a ride. You win World Series championships with plays like that. So shout out Chester County. Sure.
It was significantly worse them losing with how we had to watch that game. That made it way worse. That shit was hell.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
Tico is
a lunatic.
The worst person I know.
I still can't get over in the ad read. He referred to his swamp bass as duck butter. I would think about that for 9 minutes.
You never heard that?
No, never. Duck butter?
Duck butter, baby. Just
9 minutes of it.
Top off that taco.
Also, that was a very nice Philly radio rant there. That was strong.
Yeah, you give me another night, we'll be back. Game 6. That hurt last night. I thought a night of sleep would help, but Game 6, baby. Let's do this.
Where's that shirt you had? Is that in the trash?
The rip shirt I had?
Yeah.
No, we're keeping it.
How'd you get another one so quick?
You think this is amateur hour, Jeff and Joe?
Would you have it here? Or?
Can't kill me that fast. No, we had a stockpile in the hotel. Of course I ran back. I sprinted back
for this.
to the hotel.
We were prepared for
I got another mid-Sean.
in the heat of battle.
I should have probably jumped in sooner than that.
Before the assault?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not calling HR.
Yeah, that's what
I'm not calling HR.
That's what's crazy is because Smitty, like, I just know how dialed in and locked in on the Phillies you are and have been every minute of this season. And then I know that Tico forgot about the game when her eyes weren't on it. You know, she has the memory of a goldfish when she's watching the game. Doesn't care at all, and you care so much, dude. Like, we had so much riding. I have the biggest bet of my life riding on this. Like, this is so weighty. I laid in my bed staring at the fucking ceiling. I went to fucking yoga this morning to try and clear my fucking brain, dude. I'm trying to do so much to reset my chakras, and Tico, Texas literally doesn't give a fuck, dude. She literally has no idea where she is. She's riding the high of her life. She doesn't know what roller coaster she's on. It's taking her to unknown heights, and when she stumbles off of it, she won't realize that she'll never have a ride like this again. She'll never have the spotlight like this again. And am I being a sore loser? Of course I'm being a sore loser. What the fuck, dude? I'm sore and I lost, dude. This shit sucks. It felt terrible. It was hell. She rubbed our faces in it. She fucking killed us last night. It was fucking ugly. But what else are we supposed to do, dude? We're going to get up tomorrow and we're going to fight again.
Yeah, it was a bad loss, and that didn't help. It was the only game this postseason that the Phillies could have won, and they didn't come through, and they had so many chances.
I know that Schwarber. I mean, the fact that they're on the lines.
Oh, Trey Mancini, unbelievable play on that rocket that fucking Schwarber did. I'm going to give him credit. That it was no doubles defense. He didn't come off the bag, but a normal, healthy first baseman shuffles like 3 to 6 yards off the bag when the pitch is done, and he just sat on the fucking bag there. So hat tip Dusty Baker, I guess, for that one. Also, a legitimate Dusty Baker compliment here. You want to talk about manufacturing runs? Hit and run is very rarely used anymore at the professional level. He did a hit and run yesterday straight out of 1993, and it worked. It worked. So shout out Dusty Baker for doing that.
Eagles are 8-0.
Eagles are 8-0. That's huge. That is getting
First
lost
time
in
in
the
franchise
shuffle.
history.
Can we play that Howie Roseman clip, please?
Yeah, I'll pull that up. I actually have one more quick question about Dusty Baker. Why does he wear latex gloves? Is there like a reason for it?
I'm not going to speculate. I assume that there's something medical there. Otherwise, it can't be a comfort thing because latex gloves aren't the most comfortable things in the world, right?
Dude, I don't even know if I should get into this about Dusty Baker.
I got the DMs too. I mean, we're going to go down that road.
Does he do it every game, though?
Oh, I know what you're.
See, the fact that all three of us
recently about a certain
nephew
individual.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm thinking something else.
It has
Like
to do with a family member of Dusty Baker, in which I'm not comfortable.
Oh, that I was not
bringing to light.
That I not was.
I'm comfortable.
I know you're fucking comfortable.
I'm here for war, dude.
What is it?
You're here for. We have so much dirt on like Tico that we didn't bring out.
Yeah, because that would have literally changed her life for the worse.
It's true. Would have.
We had 3 piles of dirt that we could have buried her under.
I don't feel comfortable bringing out dirt on Dusty Baker's family member that we don't know whether it's true or not.
He got accused of he was caught doing the same thing in 2021, and now he's doing it again to Phillies fans, scamming for tickets. And I won't say any more.
Yeah, that was not what I was thinking of. He recently.
Oh, what do you got, Ev?
He recently made some comments about a friend of Mr. Cosby.
Oh, really?
Recently echoed his.
Publicly?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we need to get those.
He doubled down
quotes up if they're public.
Doubled down his friendship of the famous Temple grad.
That's weird.
Yuck.
That shit's weird.
That takes.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
It was pretty. I could have swore it was recent. I think it was kind of like just like in the mix of I don't know what exactly he was even being asked about, but
I'm sorry I brought it up.
No, not at all. I mean, there's like text messages about his nephew. You know what I mean? There's like a paper trail and everything like that. I wouldn't feel comfortable if it was just hearsay, but when you see the text messages.
He said his famous friends such as Snoop Dogg and oddly enough Bill Cosby reached out to congratulate him and wish him luck.
There it was. That's what it was.
Damn, dude.
I guess he actually.
So Bill Cosby's not
went out of his
Phillies anymore.
Went out of his way, I guess. No, that was Dusty. Oh yeah. So he's.
The fuck is that, Bill?
Yeah, he's on the
Not that I'm defending you, but like.
But he's putting his.
What you were North Philly, Temple, Philly to the fucking max, and you're congratulating Dusty Baker. You fucking.
Get him. I think we've shown incredible restraint.
You fucking loser, disgusting fuck, Bill Cosby.
We showed incredible restraint with Tico, pulling up none of the dirt that we have on her.
What is the dirt?
Not the
Can we hear?
or even the. I just don't. You know what I mean? It's like personal and it like hurts. Yeah. You know what I mean? It would hurt. It would follow her around. You know what I mean?
Not
and
all
so
about
it's like you know.
No, I'm not about that. Yardsdale, I'm just gonna sit here and cry about video games. That's what I do in my life. You fucking loser, Jesus Christ.
Well, here's the Howie Roseman video.
Yeah, I have a great announcement right now, as you'll see in this video.
One I never thought I'd hear.
I love Howie Roseman.
I never thought I'd hear that out of Smitty.
Me too.
Howie Roseman, look at this.
Wait, so what exactly did he say?
So a fan had a sign that said, Howie, you're forgiven, had J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Rager all crossed out, and had A.J. Brown there and said, Howie, you are forgiven. He saw the sign and said, what, I'm forgiven? I'm fucking forgiven for giving you your first Super Bowl? Fuck you.
Wow.
Like that's some gangster ass
That's
shit.
balls. I mean, you're 8-0, man. You can do what you want. We've had our problems in the past. I fucking love Howie Roseman.
Who's had a bigger come up than him?
Well, I mean, you give me 10 years at any job like this one, like maybe I'll figure it out. But
He was banished to the back room when Chip Kelly was here.
yeah, but who
Look
hired
at him.
Wait a second. Who hired Chip Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he also there has been quite the roller
He's had
coaster
quite
ride.
the come up as recently.
yeah, that was my biggest gripe with Howie Roseman is how he snaked it to survive 11 plus years. Like he was the GM during the Dream Team. He hired Chip Kelly. Like he fired Chip Kelly. It's like how many chances are you going to get? He won a Super Bowl and he still like managed to kind of fuck it up afterwards. But now 8-0, that comment, I'm all about Howie again. I'm all about fucking Howie. And with the Eagles being 8-0, no, they didn't cover, but pretty okay game last night. Disgusting the times.
Depends where you got the line. It opened at 9.
Did open at 9.
So if you got it at 9, you covered. If you got in early, you covered. But everybody knows that the Eagles are good, and they also proved that they are good. The Texans, I don't know if that's anything to write home about beating the Texans.
Just play who's on your schedule.
Yeah.
Take care of business. They didn't play well and won by 12.
Yeah, Jordan Davis being out was a significant blow to the defense. You could tell how much the run defense is better with him in the game. The proof is in the pudding. Damian Pierce ran all over them.
Here's a nice little player. Big Ev, congrats yet again. I mean, your touchdown marks are...
Yeah, but I lost on I was horrible yesterday.
But
hitting the one, I love to contribute to the pick six parlay, but I got smoked yesterday. I lost that on the 2-point conversion, cost me the over. We talked about the Coastal over. That was tragic.
Coastal over was, they were cruising. Absolutely cruising.
A bad day, real
Didn't
bad.
McCall get injured too?
I don't think so. I think he got banged up at one point, but he never really came out.
Okay.
They like to use the other kid to run, and they ran a good play where they kind of faked like he was going to run, and he just threw, and the guy was wide open. But I don't think he ever came out.
Yeah, yesterday was devastating.
Horrible for everybody. I was awful.
1-12.
I got greedy.
Fuck me.
1-12, Smitty?
Yeah, but Smitty got that Gainwell bet.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny Gainwell, from saving me from 0-13 and minus 15 years. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. That's what we were a Phillies win away from a plus 800 bet winning with Philly. Roan and I had AJ Brown touchdown, Eagles money line, Bryce hit, Phillies money line. That would have been fucking nice. Thank you very much, Phillies. Coastal Carolina fucked me. Edmonton Oilers, they were up 2 goals at one point, losing overtime 4-3. It was a bad night, and that's why I'm a broken man today, and you'll see it with my card. I am broken. I was live betting tennis this morning like a schmuck.
Jesus Christ, Smitty.
Responsibly, like a responsible schmuck.
Has Double Fall been winning?
He has, actually. He has. And, we're all in Alcaraz right now.
What was the game? What you hit on? What was it?
Kenny Gainwell, anytime touchdown.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, the odds
That's kind of
weren't that great.
I think you got it at 3. I think you got it at plus 350.
Plus 350. I was banking on the Eagles blowing them out and Gainwell and Boston Scott getting last TD for plus 1,600 and plus 1,800. I thought I had some good thought process with that. Nope. See ya.
I thought I had a good thought process on Devontae Smith anytime touchdown. I thought they were doing a little AJ gets a week, Devontae gets a week.
Yeah.
But
They were feeding him a little bit.
they fed him a little bit, but it's clear that it's not a 1 and 1A. It's 1 and 2. AJ Brown is like
A.J. Brown is
The big
arguably
dog.
the best receiver in the league this year. Ev?
It's one of them for sure. I mean,
let's have who else could be in the conversation?
Chase is
Jefferson.
hurt.
Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson, he had a couple bad games.
Cooper
though.
Kupp.
Cooper Kupp,
for
obviously.
sure. Honestly, I mean, Tyreek Hill is on pace.
Tyreek Hill
Pace to
is
set the
probably
receiving
number
yards
one.
record right now.
And
I think he has like 900 yards in like 7-8 games.
He's projected for over 2K.
Even Waddle, I think Waddle's really, really good.
DeAndre Hopkins' first two
Hopkins
games
has
have been incredible.
Hopkins is great when he plays.
It's a limited sample size, but
And Jalen
I mean,
Hurts is an MVP.
He's never going to win it. They're not going to give it to him.
I
but
think he's- I
playing
mean, if
like
he-
you go undefeated.
If you had to make it right now, he's like right in that top few, I think. I mean,
Oh, he's right there, but there's no way they don't give it to Josh Allen or Mahomes.
If you go
If
undefeated,
you go undefeated, how do you not give it to him? If he
I
keeps
think he's got a
playing.
decent shot. I'm not saying he's definitely going to win it, but I think he's definitely going to be right
They'll pull
there.
out. They'll pull out the
Depending, obviously, there are a lot
pull
of
out
season
the weak
left. left.
competition card. Trust me, they'll find.
But if they end up like 15-2 or something crazy, which it looks like there's a really good chance
there's a very good
Can we
chance.
stop with that weak competition bullshit? Every team, there's
It's
no
the
there's
it's
very
the
few
NFL.
good teams in the NFL though.
also the NFC East is the best division
Yeah.
ever at this point. Literally the best division historically. No division has ever had a better record at this point in the season.
Marone, how many good teams are there truly in the NFL? 4 or 5? Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of mediocrity.
It's a mediocre league this year.
Jalen Hurts plus 350 right now to win the MVP.
And who
Allen's plus what?
I can get
125.
my fucking
Second
binoculars.
favorite?
Yeah, it's Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, Cousins. It dips off a bunch after
Burrow, Cousins.
After
What?
Burrow, it dips a lot.
Yeah. After, I mean,
Kirk Cousins has the longest streak of touchdowns in the NFL.
he's also
Shocking.
never going to win an
It's not even
MVP.
close.
Honestly, who should be higher on that list, like dead serious, is Geno Smith.
He's changed things.
He's a good quarterback. Like he's playing incredibly well. I mean, they're so much better with it. I mean, the personnel is the same.
It really
That team,
sheds
the
a light
personnel-
on.
It's worse.
That team, the personnel is the same, and they're so much better with him.
It seems like Russ is not only like
They had some good rookies. They've drafted well, but still,
the rookies are
like
contributing
Woolen and some of
insanely.
the guys like Heather Walker's great.
Walker, yeah.
I mean, these are like, I mean, he's been great.
It's a
He really
shame.
has.
It's a shame Tua missed time because that plus.
If
6,000
he didn't miss time, he might be like the favorite.
like by far.
Yeah.
He's been great.
They've had some losses, but whenever he's playing, it seems like they win. But yeah, it seems like the way that the Seahawks have been so good just shines a light on not only is Russ like apparently a shitty teammate, a shitty guy to be around, but like he's not great as a quarterback. He's definitely not like just a great quarterback who is a transcendent, changes your system type of guy.
Loser.
Yeah, he's a loser.
He's a loser.
He is a loser
He is.
on multiple.
Well, I mean, you see it this year. I mean, it seems that he's lost that like run around, like make something out of nothing type of.
You know, his
He doesn't- he
deal
doesn't- he
always
doesn't
in
do
the
that all in
past was
Denver.
kind of run around like he was playing Madden in the back
But
and then find an open
broken
receiver.
plays.
Yeah, and
He definitely. Doesn't
I don't
have
think
that
he had it like last year or the year before.
I
Really,
mean, they were bad last year. He missed some time last year, but they were terrible.
Denver's got some fucking horrible luck with quarterbacks.
Yeah,
They,
it's a tough
they
investment.
make- they make their
they're-
own luck with
They're in it long term. Like they can't really just.
I
Like,
could
get
see
out.
them. I could see them taking the massive hit to get out of it.
But it's 250
lot.
like guaranteed. Like you can't like there's,
right now,
there's not much like what are you gonna do?
right now, it honestly looks like one of the worst.
Close to it, I think.
It looks like one of the worst trades in NFL history.
Yeah.
Like
Bad.
it really.
You literally just had a quarterback on your roster that was better.
And you have a head coach who's also a loser. Just straight up dud.
terrible hire.
Oh, for a second I thought you were talking about Pete Carroll. I was like,
No, Pete
I
Carroll.
gotcha, I
Pete-
gotcha.
I think if you drop a definition of a winner as a head coach,
You know, I
or
love
just
Pete
just in
Carroll.
football or in life in general, Pete Carroll is
They
up
were
there
talking
in the
about cutting him
conversation.
loose, and I didn't understand it.
He is like pushing 80.
But he's, until then, he's a
He-
really good coach.
He's fucking vibrant. He must be hopped up on Viagra like 24/7. The way he jumps up and down. He's like 76 years old.
Really?
He chews gum like a
He was like
fucking madman.
63 or something.
he's kind of just always been like that.
He's
like,
over 70.
at
Can we get an age
USC, he
check?
was this-
He's over 70.
he's got to be. I'm
Easily
gonna
over
guess.
He looks
at least 70.
I'm saying
I'm
70.
gonna
There's a big deal when he turns 70.
I was gonna guess like 71.
71.
71. I almost pushing 80.
Remember, even obviously it was a long time ago. And
71?
even at USC, he was bouncing off the walls too.
Yeah, he's probably going to retire after McVay. McVay's already talking about retiring as soon as his core of Cooper Kupp, Stafford, Ramsey, and Donald
McVay,
is
I
outta
can see
here.
getting out of there and taking an analyst job. Like, he'll be on Monday Night Football in 3 years and just ride it out.
I've never heard more talk about a young coach retiring. I don't understand why everybody's acting like he's about to run off into the sunset.
Well, because what McVay has an opportunity to be the greatest of all time, or like just ride it out in mediocrity.
I think the only reason is because they just compare him to Gruden. He's from that Gruden tree. So
No, but he is that young.
No, I know he is. But I'm saying, he got the head coach job when he was, 30?
Yeah.
When he got hired originally? So what is he now? He's 36, 37?
I just think that there was a lot of sucking off of
McVay is 36.
of McVay, LaFleur,
Shanahan,
all these young coaches. Everybody got sucked off for their futuristic offensive schemes that nobody could stop or anything. And it's like, where is that? Where is that at right
Look,
now?
he might be the best.
For all exactly.
Nick.
And Nick Sirianni has an offensive scheme where it's actually working.
Yes.
And a lot of people are plugging in, and I think that even if Jalen Hurts maybe isn't an MVP candidate, somebody has to be as responsible as anyone else for their success this year, and I think that's Sirianni.
Well, here's the thing about Nick Sirianni. You see it obviously on the field. They're 8-0. The coaches that were hired the same year as him, nobody made the playoffs last year. And like Urban Meyer and another coach is already out of the league. Nobody is above like 500, and that's like 9 coaches. You also look at
Dan Campbell's about to be out of the league.
Yeah, and you look at and credit to Howie and Jeff Lurie for finding him, but you look at how much the Colts have really fell off since he left offensively. Yeah, granted that has to do with quarterback play and finding your guy like with Wentz and then Matt Ryan, but the Colts are very, very different without Nick Sirianni, who was behind. Evidently, the play he didn't call the plays, but he was behind the planning. He was behind the strategy of everything. Nick Sirianni's a fucking diamond in the rough, apparently. Like,
I think the Colts' problems are kind of their own too, though. Like you look at how effective Jonathan Taylor was last year versus this year. Like that's independent of Sirianni entirely. Their roster composition is just dumb as hell, dude. They're just doing dumb shit at quarterback. Like that, they're a little bit of losers.
Andrew Luck
kind of losers.
Just bring in an old dude right into the sunset.
They just refuse to rebuild. They just keep going Band-Aid, Band-Aid, Band-Aid.
They haven't had a receiver
Which I don't
either.
Which I don't necessarily blame
Because
them
they've
for
been
Phil,
like
for Phil Rivers
close-ish.
doing that.
They've been close-ish. Like
Yeah.
they've been there. I mean, that with Phil Rivers, they should have beat the Bills in the playoffs.
Yeah, if he had an arm, you don't want to say that Hail Mary would have hit, but like
Andrew Luck fucked him pretty hard too.
Yeah, he fucked him.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them really for taking a chance with Wentz, but Matt Ryan was. Yeah.
I'll even say
Yikes.
Matt Ryan being. He just fell off a cliff. We just didn't. It just that just happens to the older guys. I mean,
But he fell off a cliff.
he was-
like,
but
he
he
fell
was
off a cliff
even-
like 2 years ago.
but I'm saying he was even from last year. He was much better even last season. Like this year, he just looks terrible.
We'll take some look at some lines from this weekend, gentlemen. Do you have any college locks out there before we get into
I actually need college locks badly because I got this Who's Better competition down in Louisiana tomorrow.
Oh yes.
And it's the first one we've done we usually do them during NFL. So if people have college locks, I definitely need.
Oh, I mean,
Nadu, you talk about JMU. Were you serious about that?
yeah. I mean, we were talking about that one in general. That's a great spot this week. Louisville's coming off a blowout win. They got Clemson on deck. JMU, you got to make sure the quarterback's playing. Centeo, he actually was at Temple at one point. He's been out. They have not been good. They were 0 for 17 last week on third down. He needs to be there. If he plays, I think they got a real shot to win the game. I really like that.
You're betting on 0-17 on third down?
No, but that's without him.
The
Oh,
quarterback.
God, I got it
You know,
without
if
him.
he plays, they're catching 7. It's a good number. I
He's
think.
back. Now, again, it's hard to find sometimes at those schools information, but the games tonight are rough, though.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, Oregon State, Washington's kind of a good game, but it's really kind of a toss.
I've flipped on that game a little bit. The weather's supposed to be terrible.
It suits Oregon State.
Crazy
probably.
winds. That's I've flipped. I think I'm gonna go Oregon State.
They play so slow, too.
And just there's supposed to be like crazy winds, like a ton of rain.
Yep.
Washington's defense is very good. Like that plays into Oregon State's hand perfect.
it does.
Also, the totals went down like 7 points. It seems in the weather forecast even today, it seems very, very real from everything I've seen. So I don't love doing this because you're getting just like kind of a bad number, but it is partially because of the weather. The under I don't think is horrible either. For me, it just seems like it's going to be a disaster in Seattle.
I'm also going to keep saying tomorrow at noon, Army, Air Force. I'm not sure you can keep giving teams like Army against teams that are very similar to them 7 points. That's too many points in that type of game. Low scoring, both are going to run the football. I think that's a 2.5 point number. I don't know why it's 7. That's a weird price to me.
I agree with you. And this is going to those like beating a dead, but I mean,
it could push probably, but
the under in these games and in military games 41-9 in the last 50. Ooh. So I mean, you could always. I mean, you could like if you want to go. Like you're not gonna go broke betting unders in military games.
And remember also, I mean, Army's won 4 of the last 5, and the only game they didn't win, it was close. You're getting a full touchdown. People think Army's fell off. They still have a great coach. They're good defensively, and they still do the same things.
They've struggled against teams that can air it out. That's where they've really struggled this year.
And this isn't Wake Forest
for
or
sure,
something like that. So, yeah, I think that's too high too. 2 good dogs. The big games are.
So we got Tennessee, Georgia +8, Tennessee, and then Alabama, LSU.
Alabama's laying 13
minus 13.5. I mean, does Alabama just say "fuck you"?
I kind of think the line being that high leads me to believe so.
Yeah.
LSU has been one of those weird. Like they've had moments where they've looked great, but they have been inconsistent as well.
I mean, other than those 2 games tomorrow, you got undefeated TCU. I mean, the card kind of stinks.
I think you got to look. Evan and I generally look at the crumbs. Trying to find the games that.
Well, bring them out, baby.
Yeah.
Start eating.
Another game that I'm pretty high on. Houston is playing a lot better. They've won 3 straight games. I think they have a real shot still in the American. It's been a weird season for Houston. They've been poorly coached at times, a lot of penalties, but they've cleaned that up. Looking a lot better. They're getting 3.5. I think Barstool Sports was down to 3 actually. So I think that's another good play. I'm starting to really buy into Houston. I've liked them all year, but they beat themselves a couple times. But
the same kind. I like Memphis a lot as well. Love Memphis at home. They're playing UCF. It's weirdly in this conference has become like a rivalry game. They play these like crazy games every year. Mm-hmm. UCF's coming off a big win at Cincinnati. Memphis is one they just play all these games really close. They've lost a bunch of games close late last few weeks. I just think this is a coin flip game. I'll gladly take 3.5 at home.
Also mentioned, Evan and I talked about Michigan.
Yeah.
Rutgers.
Smash.
Rutgers is really fucking bad. Like their offense is horrific. I mean, they just can't move the ball. They got shut out last week by Minnesota. Michigan's a sniffingly better team than Minnesota. We all know that. If Michigan keep the foot on the gas, the quarterbacks don't make dumb mistakes and they put the ball in the end zone, which they normally do, they should be fine.
No, this is such a classic Harbaugh win by like 50 spot.
Yeah, and I think I was telling Ev, I think they're pissed off probably a little bit after that. That little dust up last week. Been in the media all week. I think they take some frustration.
I just struggled. I said yesterday I struggled to see Rutgers scoring like 14 here. I mean,
yeah,
I think they'd be lucky to score 14. They have 3 quarterbacks that all aren't very good. I mean, it's a mismatch. Like Michigan should destroy them on the defensive line. I don't see why they can't go in by 40 points. They should.
Oregon's off a bye too, I believe, against Colorado.
Yeah, 31.
31.5, right.
Colorado's another horrific team.
Yeah.
Cannot stop the run whatsoever. Nebraska can't stop the run whatsoever. They're playing a good run team. There's a lot of bad defenses out there that have Colorado's given up.
Yeah.
They're not they've won 1 game. They're not doing anything this year. Oregon can put points on the board. They look like those old Chip Kelly teams.
They look great. I said we did a segment earlier in the week, like our top 3 Heisman. I had Bo Nix number 3.
It's right there.
Bo Nix has had a phenomenal season. He really has.
And shout out to him because he was he's in the SEC, but yeah, he's been really good.
I mean,
he's one of those guys that's going to go to the NFL and just hang around for like 13.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because I kind of almost felt bad for him because he had that great. He came in as highly touted prospect. He has the Bo Nix is like
he's going to be like Chad Henne.
That's going to be
in the league.
That's like the SEC quarterback name of all time, and he's been he had like so much inconsistencies. He kind of became like the butt of all the jokes. Then last year he's sneaky. He wasn't terrible. He had some good moments, and this year he's been unbelievable.
That game they played against UCLA was very impressive.
I mean, they smashed them. Absolutely smashed them.
Roan, Penn Penn State 13.5-point favorites at Indiana. So
First off, I just love listening to the boys talk fucking ball. These are two sharp college football minds that I very much enjoy. I think two very sharp gambling minds. I'm over here taking notes. I love the picks.
Well, here's a question for you as a culty ball-washing PSU fan, along with Jeff D. Lowe and Derek and a million other people here. How long are you just going to accept James Franklin as your head coach?
I mean, what is the alternative, do you think?
I mean, Matt Rule's on the block right now.
Does that excite you?
Oh, Matt Rule took Temple from, an okay Steve
College football, Matt
Addazio
Rule moves the
Al
needle.
Golden, but to a top 10 borderline team. You remember them against Notre Dame at the Link? College football was there. If it wasn't for Deshaun Kaiser,
I remember that game.
having an incredible run, they could have been top 5 in the country under Matt Rule. And then he went to Baylor and just completely turned that program around from being literally in the gutter after their bullshit. He can do it.
But I mean, James Franklin is going to thrive in the living room. You're going to lose 2 or 3 games at least every year. You're probably not going to beat both Michigan and Ohio State.
Is that championship mentality? Is that 1986?
You just have to accept them for what they are. I mean,
but he's
that Kerry Collins walking in.
But he's the clear problem there. They're a really good football team.
They have great players
They
too.
recruit well.
They recruit incredible.
They're
That's
talented. They're talented.
Defense
team.
is always good. They always get a good running game. They don't scout quarterbacks real well, but they get good enough quarterbacks. He is the problem. He's the problem this week. I liked him this week, but he is that kind of thing that there's occasional where I just don't want to get involved with him. He's not a good coach.
Yeah, but you just dumped a bunch of money in there. Like know that problem isn't going to solve itself this year. So you kind of have to accept what Penn State is.
If you
root really hard and try to have fun when they're playing against the really good teams, but it's like there are certain teams in the Big Ten that have their number. They're able to beat Auburn.
If you bring Matt Rule there, you compete with Ohio State and Michigan. You just do. They already do.
From an offensive game plan point of view, I feel that. Like, I feel that he could, but it's also sometimes you see a coach go back to college and he doesn't have that magic. Like, I mean, Chip Kelly didn't exactly restore UCLA to Oregon.
But UCLA is pretty good this year. Like, it just took them a minute.
Penn State's pretty good, too. Like, it's not going to take them out of pretty good.
Matt Rule's in a weird spot, too, because I thought he'd be a great Nebraska hire. And then we heard recently that they're going to probably give it to the interim guy. So I don't know where he's going to go.
Matt Rule can go to the beach and relax for 10 years if he wants.
Sure.
He can do whatever.
Could do that, yeah.
Like, what was his payout?
I could even see him being like a TV guy for a year. He's pretty personable, likable
very
guy.
personable. Very personable. When we saw him out of McGillen's karaoke every Wednesday night, just fucking cutting a rug. It was awesome.
He's a Penn State alum, right? Or no?
Is he? I don't know.
Either Penn State. He has connections there somehow.
Could have sworn that when he was at Temple. I think
they were talking about him for Penn State.
He was connected to Paterno, I think, or something with playing there. I think I could have sworn he did, but
yeah, it seems like Penn State's in a holding pattern, and I don't really see them breaking that.
Yeah, Matt Rule went to Penn State.
Pull.
So it makes sense. Franklin's. I feel like he's always like gets to that hot seat, and then like he wins the game that gets him off it.
Yeah,
I mean, but then last week against Ohio State, they didn't even have a chance in the fourth quarter. They got three quarters.
They did, but they didn't. I hear what you're saying.
But it's always that.
It was like we came to crunch time and like the hammer got put.
And then there are games like, who was it? Them that went 9 overtimes.
Illinois.
Like, what the fuck?
Last year.
Like, you should, you can't have that. And then pandemic year, they lose at home against Indiana. Like,
they haven't had that this year. Yeah, lost the games they're supposed to lose.
But they do usually have those, and you're always worried about them coming again. It's notorious.
The season ain't over yet.
Right.
But like you've gotten to this point where it's like they are like pretty fairly ranked. Like they're like middle of the pack.
What a good.
Not
And
better
what
than
I'm
the teams
saying,
ranked ahead.
Ron, we grew up in suburban Philadelphia where everyone was wearing fucking LeVar Arrington and Chaffee Fields jerseys.
I used to work at LeVar Arrington's bar at Penn State.
There you go. When is Penn State's going to get back? Kerry Collins is walking in the bar like a fucking god.
Yeah, but there was also like Penn State was different then, dude. It was like the bad times in the 90s when like
very, very bad times going on.
bad shit was going
Very
on.
bad shit.
And like that's how college programs like rise to their prominence because they're in a small town where everything's hush hush. They'll break rules and fucking
Hey, but remember,
cover shit up and like
But it had nothing to do with recruiting.
that
and
rule
on the field.
completely resurrected Baylor off of a very
Awful
bad
situations.
situation too.
Awful situation.
He would put them over the top. And I think they're accepting mediocrity with James Franklin. They just are. I don't know what they see in him. Now, again, I'm not a head coach and neither of any of us, but he looks to be a real problem for them. Just my thought.
I think that's fair, but I also do you realistically see them getting off of the new contract they just gave him that pays him like,
I don't know why they gave it to him. That's questionable. I mean,
yeah, I think that they were afraid.
They can always cut it loose. Like Brandon Walker always says, like nobody, like they have more.
All these teams, they all do
more
it.
money than anything.
Of course,
Like,
They all do it.
endowments and fucking
The right couple boosters say, yeah, like, we'll pay it, done. And they will.
all right,
If it's for Matt Rule or somebody like that, they will.
that's enough, James. Or excuse me. Yeah, that's enough. Penn State, James Franklin ball washing for the day.
I like Green Bay this week. Love them. Aaron Rodgers as a divisional favorite is a must bet to me. And I know they haven't been great.
Is Lazard back?
I got to look at the injury today. I don't know.
I mean, Packers minus 3.5.
They've
They've lost some uncharacteristic games this year in which Aaron Rodgers has never lost in his career. Like at Washington, just putting up a dud.
I know.
Like it's different.
Detroit just seems checked out though.
They have no defense.
I don't think they're checked out. My line was minus 3.5 last week. I mean, they were close to covering.
They can score a little, but they have no. Their defense is just horrible.
And the Packers
Horrible.
secondary is pretty good.
Look,
And-
I view this as a gut check game for the Lions, especially in their secondary. They just dropped their defensive backs coach because they're historically one of the worst passing defense teams of all time.
Aaron Glenn?
I don't know. Was it?
No, Glenn.
These are DC.
Glenn's, I think, the
they're
coordinator.
DC.
Yeah.
I got it.
Like, I think plus 3.5. I mean, that's I like the Lions to lose by a field goal. Like, that's what I like.
I think they get right, at least just in this game.
They've had plenty of opportunities to get right, and they just
Yeah.
they don't.
This might be. I could see this defense is worse than any. I mean, they've had to play. The Giants' defense is decent. They had to play even the Jets' defense is not terrible. They had to go to Buffalo
They
last
should
week.
score every time they have the ball. I mean, this defense is hard.
Let's go through every NFL game real quick. Bills, Jets plus 11.5 at home. Anything change?
I'm not.
It's like, I mean, the Bills are a wagon. I mean, I don't love laying like double digits on the road like that, but
Yeah, I like the Jets.
Yeah, I don't hate the backdoor surprise by the Jets here.
Wilson's bad.
He's bad.
He shows flashes.
He shows flashes.
He will I'll make a couple throws that'll make you go whoa, but then I'll make a couple throws that'll make you go wow. I've never seen a throw that bad. I mean, some of those throws in the Patriots game were some of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like just like what are you doing?
I think this game's a lot like the Eagles game last night. I think
Did they
it
fight?
winds up being a little.
I think it's like 27-13 or something. Like it pries right around the number. They probably end up covering. I think the Eagles had opportunities. I mean, if they play a little better, they had an opportunity to cover. I think it's 27-13. I like the under personally.
Don't hate that. The Bengals minus 7.5 at home against the Panthers. Get right game.
I kind of like the Bengals.
I
like the
love
Bengals.
the Bengals here. Yeah, the Panthers have been playing with a little bit more heart, but I mean, this should be a fuck you game from Joe Burrow.
Although I am concerned
But Chase,
about how
where's Chase?
that's what I was just gonna say. I am
That offensive
concerned-
line stinks too.
It does stink,
It's
and they
very
were
bad.
exposed last week again. But yeah,
Carolina that bad defensively?
No, that's kind of
not.
that's the one thing I think they're not horrible.
Yeah.
But Higgins.
Joe
is also
Burrow still
hurt.
has T. Higgins.
Burns can
Higgins
rush
is
the
coming back.
passer.
You still have Joe
got some-
Mixon. My boy Hayden Hurst can't get things done in the red
Short
zone.
week for Cincinnati. I don't know. It seems like one of those close games because Cincinnati can't block up front.
Really?
Yes.
On the road? I mean, I guess Walker kind of has like a little, some juice where he could trick them into thinking that they're good.
What?
Because I do.
PJ Walker. I mean, we want to talk about Matt Rule guys. Like, that's the only reason he's still in the league. Now, granted, one of the greatest throws in NFL history last week to get him to overtime.
When you have a cannon, everything is on the table. You know what I mean? Like, if you have, like, an absolute cannon.
That was a fucking
I think the problem with this number is it's not high enough for me to want to get involved. Like last night with the Texans, at least you're getting over double digits, and you can maybe hang around and do some things. But this number's just kind of too low. I wish it were 10. I would have more interest. But
In the Panthers?
yeah, because Carolina's just so bad on. They have no playmakers anymore. It's just
DJ Moore has kind of awakened.
DJ Moore's back, baby. He's back. I love DJ Moore. Love him. And if they just feed him, he will be fine. Absolutely
He'll
fine.
get numbers, but I don't think he's enough.
Packers Lions, where I talked about, and then we got the worst game of the week, Colts Patriots. Patriots -5 at home. Like what? Like if you're not a fan of one of
under?
these two teams,
Yeah, that's what I would say. Under I
man,
like a lot.
this is first to
a
7.
I don't
boring game.
think I mentally could back Sam Ellinger. I mean, he looked atrocious last week.
And Belichick's probably licking his lips.
He made some decent throws at the end of the game, but I mean,
No, they're trying to lose.
he's not the guy I want to put.
hey, this is the
behind.
Patriots' first game since getting bum rushed by Justin Fields, right?
No, they smoked the Jets
That's right. They did smoke the Jets. That's right.
Yeah,
at MetLife.
I don't think that the Colts have any interest in winning. I think that they've realized, like you said earlier, Ev, that they're in the Band-Aid pattern, and they're like, no, let's get the fucking surgery.
The only thing they have. That's why I like.
Fucking
I agree. I know what with Jeff. I like the under a lot. The only thing they do have a decent defense. Their defense fights, but their offense is bad.
Falcons Chargers. Hello over 49.5.
Falcons are in a bad way on defense right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
They have nobody in the secondary.
you want to talk about a get right game? Herbert,
The only thing that's helping that is the Chargers have like their whole team's out.
their whole team's out, but Herbert's not out.
I think Palmer's the only receiver that they have. I think even Williams is banged up.
They got Everett.
Looks like Allen isn't going to play. It seems like.
You know, just Keenan Allen, you always think that he's an injury guy. He played like every game the last 3 years.
So I guess what happened is, in the bye week he like re-hurt himself even more, and he says he's not going to come back till he's 100%.
I want to ask you guys real quick. This is kind of random, but last week at halftime at a Falcons game, they had these like midget players playing, like midget football players playing. on the,
Acceptable?
no, like little league.
Youth
Pee-wee,
football.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm just making sure we're all kosher.
So they're playing these mascots in the area. Did you guys see that?
The mascots light him up.
Falcon, yeah, the Freddie Falcon guy just buried the kid, and then gets up and like gets in his face, and it was like people were like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Yeah, that's
He's
been going on for like.
I think I've seen those. It's like they always do them as like skits and stuff. Yeah.
No,
Like,
it wasn't a skit though.
Yeah, no, it's not. They play Pee Wee football against. That's how the Ravens.
No, but he
mascot
like
got hurt
pushed the
last
kid
year.
and got like in his face. It was weird.
Didn't the Ravens mascot tear his ACL doing that?
Maybe.
Get
I
Carter
don't
off
know.
the field.
I've seen them like light up the kids before too, and
He lit the kid up and he like pushed him, and the kid like they all fought the foul. It looked from what the parents were saying it was like weird, legitimately. Like, why did he do that?
Don't mess with mascots, man. They're fucking
You should put him in a
ripped as shit.
Yeah, they're definitely athletic as hell.
Dude, the Philly Fanatic. There have only been 2 Philly Fanatics in the entire existence from 1976. That's incredible. Incredible.
Top-notch mascot.
Another shit game. Raiders, Jaguars.
Both teams that have just been dreadful.
Raiders.
I mean,
disappointing, man.
I think the Raiders are better. I mean,
They are?
also
Are they?
I don't know. I don't say that with like the utmost confidence. I'd like to think so.
On the road?
I'd like to think they're at least a little more talented. Maybe maybe that's the better way to say it. I mean they're coming off one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Against and the Saints suck.
I don't think the Saints suck. I don't think they're great, but
The Saints suck, dude.
yeah, they're not good.
They're not good.
not
And
good.
for them to smoke the Raiders,
blasted them.
and then for
Shut
the
'em
Raiders
out.
to be favored.
I was on the Saints. I felt good about that one. I don't know. I just
What's the line right now?
it's 1.5.
1.5.
It's a shit bowl.
But the Raiders are favored.
This
On the road.
This screams Dougie P. Jacksonville.
Yeah, this is.
I know.
I mean, there have been a lot of games that scream Juggy P. Jacksonville, and Trevor Lawrence just doesn't get it done. In fact, he loses it for him. I feel bad for Doug Peterson because if he had like Minshew there, like they'd be a playoff contender.
I'll tell you what though,
Trevor Lawrence is that bad.
Next year, that was a nice move getting Ridley. When Ridley comes, that's a
Agreed.
good little move. Get through this year, focus on next year. They'll be a decent team, man.
Game I love, Dolphins at the Bears. Dolphins minus 4.5. I mean, the Dolphins.
I'm going the other way, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, I like the Bears as well.
I like the Bears as well.
Explain this to me. This was 5.5. Whole world's thinking the same way you are, and it drops to 4.5. After all the moves the Bears made, the sellouts, the moving everybody on, and the line goes down a full point.
I mean, maybe the weather's supposed to be
Bears
mixy.
win.
I think the Bears are just a little better than people think. I'm not saying they're great.
Justin Fields
little bit
is
better.
having
He's been
a very
playing-
nice stretch.
He's been playing better. They've been running the ball really well. Their defense is not terrible. It's not the worst. They're awful last week, to be honest. But
And you'll hear all this.
but also they're not the Cowboys.
Like Tua, when he starts or plays, they're 5. They're undefeated. They haven't lost. He's a great receiver core. They've just sold. Got rid of everybody. Yet the line drops a whole point.
Also, I think we're getting to the time of year in Chicago where weather is going to be a factor for a
Sunny team.
a sunny team like Miami, a speedy team like Miami.
Fair enough. Vikings against Heineke when Heineke is undefeated. +3 Commanders. I don't hate the Commanders here. I don't hate them at all. I think the Dan Snyder selling the team mojo is going to have an effect in the crowd. Maybe people actually show up.
I think you're onto something.
I think the Vikings on the road are completely different. I think the line is a Commanders line. I think Commanders outright.
A lot of good dogs this week.
Yeah. Also, I generally like them better with Heineke than Wentz.
Oh yeah,
I'd rather bet.
He's a winner.
he's a gamer.
I feel like they just believe in him more. Like you just see the way they react to him. There's a little more.
Wentz has better
gusto
arm
there.
talent, but that's it. That's literally where it stops. He's a worse decision maker. He's a worse game manager. He's a worse teammate. Heineke is way scarier if you're a division foe. Heineke will go and win in like a
We were talking about
20 to 17.
in the stream in the last week. He has a little bit of that like Fitz magic in him.
He does.
He does.
He has a little bit of that in his game. Like he can show up. He can
Look.
He'll make some plays that make you but he'll make some plays that are like wow,
People-
like that the throw to McLaurin like to win the game. Like he's got a little bit of that magic in him every now and then.
People forget he almost beat the Bucks in the wild card during the Bucks Super Bowl.
He played well in that game. He did.
Played really well. Rapid fire. We have 2 minutes left. Seahawks, Cardinals. Cardinals -2.
I like Seattle here.
They absolutely buried him the last time they played Arizona couldn't do anything.
Baker stinks.
They kept him out of the end zone.
Not Baker.
Another shit
Tyler
bowl. Another shit bowl. Rams +3 at Tampa. Who's going to get it right, baby? Or are they both just lose?
I mean, 2 months ago, this game would have been circled.
Yeah, crazy. I kind of like the Rams. I mean, I've lost such faith in the Bucks. Also, I saw what was the stat? It was like one of the. Oh, let me pull up this stat. I know you don't have that much time.
The Rams are fucked if they can't add another offensive weapon. And I know Van Jefferson maybe is
Bring back Deshaun.
on his way back. No,
Oh, he's on the
Deshaun's
Ravens
in
pack
the
practice
Ravens,
squad. Yeah.
So the Bucks this year have been forced into 50 third and longs. 50. They've converted 5 of them. 5 and 50. This stat is not the worst in the NFL this year. It's the worst rate for any team in the last 22 years.
That's wild.
It's crazy how much
They've been that bad.
the offensive line makes, dude. The
No,
offense.
that I think is the biggest difference between their team last year. This year, they've had a great O-line last few years. It's terrible now.
TB12 is broken.
But I think it comes down to the fact that he lost his left, right guards and his center. Like he
Yeah.
has a whole new battery in the middle, and it's changing how he's protected, how quickly he can get off the ball.
I personally think Stephen Shea has way too much influence in the organization.
Totally.
That's what happens. And sometimes you need to free your fire. That's why, Big Ev, you're giving out the Fireball F-It pick of the day. Get it.
I am free or fire, shut out Fireball, the number 1 shot in the U.S. I'm calling this effort pick because it's a pick that I switched. I was on Washington all week. I'm flipping it. I said earlier the weather's horrible. I think this plays into the Oregon State run game. Give me Oregon State +4.5 in Seattle tonight, late night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time start.
What the fuck does walkover mean in tennis? What does that mean? Somebody explain it to me right now.
Walk over?
Walkover.
Someone get
So somebody, I don't know what that means, but Alcaraz and Rune are in a tie-break set going back and forth.
I have the definition.
Okay.
A walkover occurs when there's been an administrative error or when a player decides not to play a match in an event because of injury, illness, or personal emergency.
Oh, no.
So it's just 6-6 in a set and we're walking over, I don't know who walked over. It could be great or it could be a disaster.
Yep. Someone could have made a fucking error. Fucked you.
What? Whoa. Okay.
That's why you don't bet tennis and
No shit to
Cyprus.
do responsibly. That's why you don't live bet tennis after.
Where is this
bad
tennis
loss.
at?
Paris.
Paris.
Alcaraz Medical retired? What the fuck?
It just cut off in the middle of the match.
The number one seeded.
He got hurt. Yeah, he just got hurt. He's out.
Is that a void?
No, I think it's a loss.
That's a loss. He started the match and you didn't finish. It's forfeit.
He got walked over.
You got forfeited.
He got dog walked.
Oh no!
Damn, Smitty, it's rough for you, bro.
Keep fighting, Smith.
And this is it. This is my play of the
1
day.
for 13.
I'm broken.
Oh no!
I'm a broken man.
No.
Joker.
What's the play today?
Joker Musetti over 19.5 games. I'm a broken man. There you go.
Lakers is my play of the day.
Yeah, like I said, I'm Oregon State. I'm taking the under 40 in what has been coined as the Cum Bowl. UConn versus UMass.
Nadu, you got picks?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Big Ev as well. I didn't put this on the card, but I'm gonna play Oregon State as well. I think that weather really suits them. I think Penix maybe a turnover or two. John Smith has resurrected the Beavers of Oregon State. I think the game's close at worst.
Roan, you got any fire?
I like the Nets over the Wizards with the 3 points there. Sixers.
Shout out James Harden. Hopefully you get well
3.5.
soon. But you just saved Doc Rivers' job. Congrats.
And the Lakers against the Jazz, getting 3.5 points. Lakers take care of business. Jazz are not as good as their record.
And that's all she wrote. Phillies. Astros stream tomorrow night. We're back in Game 6.
Or die.
Or die. Probably gonna cry. Fucking A. Walk over.
Walked over?
Oh man.